And we're live. Cool. Well, not live, but whatever. So, welcome back to NickTalks. Usually I try and write through at least a brainstorm of what I want to talk about, but today I'm kind of just shooting from the hip. So, I have some things that I had planned for today that I'll include, but I don't think I'm going to be basing everything I want to say off of that. So, what I'm going to get into later is the perception of adversity and how it affects your perception of reality. But we'll save that for in a little bit. What I want to talk about first is the relationship between physical health and mental health and clarity. So, brief backstory. When I was in high school, I was, into working out and lifting and played sports and all that. And I had a very good time. High school was a great time for me. And then first year college, also a great time for me for, I think, somewhat different reasons, but with some trickle effect into that time period. So basically my fundamental belief is that the reason that I had such a free and fun time in the specifically last 2 years of high school, not just in the walls of the high school, but that whole time period was fantastic, like some of the best time of my life. For reasons that I would like to get into at some point. I think I would like to do a complex analysis of how high school mirrors the real world and my perception of it, but another day. So I'm pretty sure that the reason that I had such a good time was because of my health and because I was actively pursuing nearly every day, trying to become healthier, look better, be more in shape, of my own doing. Sports, you got to work out anyways. It is a workout, but I was doing it twice as much on my own time. And so I was very happy all the time, extremely happy and excited to be alive. So then, after high school, I started to get away from working out a little bit. I had some other plans of things that I wanted to do with my life and my body and other limits that I wanted to push, like partying and things like that, because I just wanted to see what would happen, which is also interesting. Another video. Write this stuff down. But I haven't been actively exercising or anything for at least the last few years, other than job requirements. If a job is physically strenuous, then I will obviously be getting some sort of exercise, but it's not super intentional. However, now that some of the situations in my life are kind of evening out, or at least I've changed my mindset to allow more freedom of thought around the events in my life, I'm chilling. I'm a little bit more calm. So I have started exercising more and going to the gym actively, and I can tell you it is a night and day difference. It's, people, when you get into the habit of depression and anxiety and social reclusiveness, all the things like that, because it is a habit. It's redundant thinking, repetitive thought patterns that keep you in a painful loop. And, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody who has depression, and because I personally have really dove deep into what it is at least philosophically and fundamentally, and how to get out of it. And really, it's just putting in that work, getting yourself to be different every day, better every day. Wow, I can't even describe the effect that it's had on my life in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks, maybe. It's insane. The way that I interact with people in public is improving. The way my thought patterns, the way that I speak, my personal relationship, my finances, everything has started going uphill. And I think that it's partially due to the health aspect and actually being healthier, but I also think it's just one. I think it's a combination of things. As everything is, the older I get, the more I realize that everything is very complicated in terms of cause and effect. It's never just one thing that causes one thing. It's usually like 50 things that cause like 7 things. It's a very complicated process. But I would say that losing it, right, the physical health aspect, the fact that I like what my body looks like more now, and the fact that I'm intentionally doing something difficult that I in no way need to do. There's no incentive for me to do this outright, like nobody's gonna pay me. It's not like I'm not gonna do a movie and get more money for being big or anything like that. It's just because I want to. So this kind of goes into the choosing the difficult path is always more rewarding than taking the easy way, which is pretty incredible that life is set up that way. What an interesting thing. Because the harder you push into, the more you lean into the pain and do what is difficult because you want to get better, you will. And if you set goals and you actively strive to reach those goals every single day, it's okay if you fall off one day, try not to, but as long as you're trying to get somewhere every day, you're going to get there inevitably. I believe that it's impossible. I mean, that's kind of like, what I've said about starting this channel, but in a whole different realm of life. So I guess that'll kind of segue it. So basically, I'm just advocating to, if you see this and you're having a tough time, try and go to the gym, dog. Try and start running, try and, do yoga. I've not gotten into yoga, but I've heard excellent things. So anything where you're actively interacting with your body and improving some sort of awareness of how your body works, your specific body, I think that is really tunes you into something and creates a very positive outcome. So it's easy to fall into the pattern of thought where, I wake up every day and I feel terrible. Everything terrible that's going on in my life is happening to me. But then when you start to attack it back, because life is going to fight you tooth and nail until you die. That's just how it is. So you can either sit there and take it, or you can do something about it and you can fight back a little bit. And then you realize that it was never really life fighting you. It was just you fighting yourself. And so you just have to push through your own boundaries, your own barriers that you put up for yourself. And what's waiting on the other side is infinitely greater than you could ever imagine. But that kind of brings us into the perception of adversity. So one of the 3 things that I said has, in my opinion, led to the change in my personal mood is being healthier, feeling better about how I look, and what was the 3rd thing? Oh yeah, and intentionally doing something difficult. So the intentionally doing something difficult is a big part of that. And I think that you can use that momentum and that fundamental law of nature and reality to kind of catapult yourself into success. And what I have written here, what I was going to talk about today, is very in depth about what I believe the perception of adversity, how it affects your daily life. So basically, the more you choose the difficult path, the more you see something. And now I'm not just saying do hard things for the sake of doing hard things. Do hard things with a purpose. Do something difficult that will lead you somewhere you want to be. It'll make you someone you want to be. It'll teach you something you want to know. But choosing something that is difficult instead of just existing and saving that energy and like just maintaining who you are that's a fear or lack mindset. You want to be in that abundance, right? You want to be like, you can go get anything, you can do anything, and you have to face the challenges. You have to choose the challenge, because if you don't, I've always kind of had the opinion that, like, if you chase the challenge, you get the reward. And then if you don't chase the challenge, it's okay, but you don't really get as much. But I think it's even worse than that. I think that if you don't actively pursue meaning and purpose and are not driving towards something that is important to you, that you're passionate about, I think it damages you on I'll advocate for the existence of the human soul for a second. I think it damages your soul. It hurts who you are. It changes you for the worse. But if you keep pushing, you keep trying, inevitably you will succeed in whatever you want to do. And the more clear you are about your goals, the more likely you are to succeed, because then you can reverse engineer from your goals and find your way to that. So the issue there is that when you don't push towards what's difficult and you always choose the easy way, you always choose what is going to be less work for you, then your perception of what a true challenge is nothing. Like if I'm someone who I sit at home, maybe I go to work, clock in, clock out, do my job, leave, come home, and then just eat and watch TV. Or do nothing, or sit on my computer, whatever. Then my idea of what a challenge in my life would be is like, my rating is down here. If I hit my leg on something, if I bump into a wall, if someone says something or looks at me the wrong way, then it's like, oh my gosh, the world's ending, right? But if I'm like getting up every day and I'm going for a hard run, going for a morning workout, taking a cold shower, which I haven't started doing, but I've heard it's the same thing, because when you tackle something difficult, especially early in the day, it changes the rest of your day. Because if you intentionally put yourself in a challenging position and then find a way out of it, you're teaching yourself that you can do it. You understand more so that you have the power to make things better for yourself. And so, if I beat my body to a pulp as soon as I woke up, and then go and take a cold shower, probably not a lot of stuff during my day is going to bother me as much, because I already did all the hard stuff. What's going to be harder than that? If someone looks at me the wrong way, I probably won't even notice, or I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And plus, my body's going to be so excited to be pumping in new cells that I'm going to be feeling good. I'm going to be I'm chilling, relaxed, good to go. And that's a snowball effect. So the more you push yourself, and the more you try, and the more you fail and then succeed, afterwards from learning from your failure, then the higher your bar goes of what is truly a challenge. So then it takes more to shake you. It takes more to, you're stronger. It takes more to push you into fear, you know? But the more you spend doing nothing, the slowly going, your bar gets lowered and lowered and lowered to the point where any little thing, it could rain. It could rain one day and it would be the worst thing that has happened to you. And that could happen every single day. Something happens that it's the worst thing that has ever happened to you. And it could be. It could be. But if you just do the work of putting yourself in tough spots anyways, life's not going to get you. And it will. Life is going to get you every single time. So the more that you prepare yourself, it's kind of like a big battle, right? Let's say that the organizer of life, whether it be the motion of the universe or God or anything, whatever pushes natural events, whether organized or not, it always falls towards chaos. And that, as a human being, chaos is very annoying and troubling to deal with because we like comfort, we like systems, we like ease. I just want to relax all day. But life is going to be going at you either way. So, you kind of have a choice there. Can you either fall victim to life and just let it bully you all the time? Or you stand up and you fight back a little bit. You push back, you make yourself stronger so that nothing that happens in your life can ever faze you. Of course, there's always tragedies that are going to be difficult no matter who you are or what you've done. But for the most part, if I could reserve my bad days for only days where something truly tragic happened, that means that like 99% of the bad days that I would have had aren't bad days anymore. That sounds like a lot better life than the alternative to me. So that's kind of all I got. I also had some things in here about I believe that your mind, your brain is a complex problem-solving machine. That is what it's supposed to do, and that is what it does. And so if you are actively pushing it to the limit, then it's going to be very happy to be solving those problems. But if you are just slacking and doing nothing, then it's still going to solve problems. It's just going to be problems that you manufacture, problems that you create that don't really exist. And, your brain just needs something to do. And so, to you, the observer, the consciousness, it seems like, fight or flight, you got to do something. Everything's crumbling around you. But really, it's just your brain trying to freak you out so that it can have something to work on because you're not feeding it anything. So we'll cut it there. But to sum it up, one, if you're having a hard time in life, and I'm not just some guy who's like, oh, I go to the gym, let me talk at you like I know what I'm saying. No, I've been there, dog. I've been there, and I've personally, and not once, I'd say at least 2 to 5 times in my life have I been deep in the gutter, and I have dug myself out because of following this method, which is just find something that you want to become and push towards it. Now, I personally, for me, going to the gym has always been like rock solid, like if I'm having a tough time and I get back in the gym, because obviously if I'm having a tough time, I probably wasn't going to the gym. But if I get back in there and start pushing myself hard and then seeing the changes and sticking to it and becoming resolute with my schedule, changes like this immediately. So if you're having a hard time, find something that you're passionate about and then push the goal that way and make sure that it's actually making a difference. Don't just do something because you want to trick yourself, and you can't lie. You can't lie to yourself. So if you're taking the easy route and just disguising it and making it look pretty so that you may think that it's the hard route, you know what you're doing, and it's going to hurt you even more. So just find something hard to do and do it. You know, go for a run at 5 in the morning. Do that for a week and tell me how you feel. You know, go to the gym every day for 2 weeks. Tell me how you feel. And if you don't feel any different, then maybe I'm wrong. But I doubt it. I doubt it. So that's where I'll leave it. You know, I hope that anybody sees this, it helps you out, because, I mean, I feel, even from the last video that I made, which I think that I had started going to the gym a few days prior to that video, but now it's been a week since that video, and I feel like my whole life has changed, pretty much, which is very spectacular from a philosophical, fundamental, biological standpoint. Just that any human being can change their entire outlook on life, and therefore their life experience and day-to-day mood, feeling, perception, everything can change just by very small actions. You got more power than you think. I promise you. I promise you. So, alrighty, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate any support that I get. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll still refrain from begging for likes and subscribes so far, because, you know, I'm just doing this for fun at this point, and I don't even edit these videos. So if I don't put in a lot of work, I don't expect a lot of people to put in the work back. But still, you know, if you see this and you want to leave a comment, go ahead. If you think that I should change the lengths, if you think that I should go longer, maybe more in depth, maybe more organized, less organized, you know, any feedback is greatly appreciated. And once again, I thank you. Hope you have a good one. Later.